Do I do the slideshow now?
Yes, why don't I'll say welcome everyone.
I should have done that a minute ago.
No, you're fine, Condi. Hi, so welcome everyone. Welcome to Essential Wellness. It is our live webinar. We are here today with Condi Bartlett. I am Dr. Josie Schmidt, naturopathic physician, and I am the host, and I'm going to be introducing our very special guest. But welcome first to our Empowered Life series, and have a couple introductions. So let's go next, Condi.
Oh, sorry about that. I fell asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, so that's our welcome slide.
Yeah.
I just wanted to, sorry, I have a little feedback there.
Uh-oh.
So here's an announcement for everyone visiting us today. So it's July, and it is July 18th. And just to let you know that next month, we will be having very special guests, Dr. Jody Anderson, MD, and Tiffany Kruger-Bryant. They will be bringing us high vibe skin science. Get your glow on the inside and the outside. This is going to be incredible to learn so much more depth about how we can do beauty hacks, secrets, basically bring in natural, high-level ingredients that we have with our essential oils and our skincare line with doTERRA, in lieu of some of the very intense medical grade things that Dr. Jody Anderson works with and has purview to. So please join us to see how you can get that glow on inside and out. And that is next month. So next month, August 19th, is the live event in Portland, Oregon. And then on August 22nd, like today, it will be a live webinar at noon. All right. So for those of you who are new with us on this webinar, doTERRA is just really leading the way and revolutionizing the way families and people are using essential oils and bringing them into their daily wellness and into their homes and into their health. We are going to play a short video here for the people who are new that tells you more about this company.
Sorry.
Yes, the sound, Condi, you have to bring the sound on your computer all the way up.
Oh, no, sorry. I'm going to be fired from this job. I think I already
It's
know.
okay. It's your first time.
I'm not sure how to adjust the sound. Yep, I shouldn't be doing technology, clearly. This is evidence. I'm going to stick to my day job.
Okay. Let's skip the video then.
Okay.
Sorry, everyone. So that is you can find it on YouTube. Actually, it's a wonderful introductory video on doTERRA and CPTG, Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. The grade that doTERRA has actually created because there is not and was not the standard. And the video really shows in depth all that doTERRA is doing to create these incredibly powerful and potent medicinal grade essential oils that are the highest grade on the market and are leading the standard. And so that is how so many of us, like myself and naturopathic physicians, and so many of us who, like Condi, we work with clients, we work with people in the field of health and wellness, why we feel so comfortable, and it is the only brand that we will work with, and knowing that we trust the results that come through every single time, because there is that standard and there is that consistency that we can work with and believe in. So I would like to now move on to our special guest, Condi Bartlett, and introduce her. She is with us today, and this is a webinar about many, many things on the surface, fibromyalgia. But Condi is a modern mystic who helps her clients see what's possible in all areas of their life. She then teaches all of us, her clients in particular, right, how to activate our body's natural ability to self-heal. Her healing protocols include working with essential oils, tapping, which is called EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, energy healing, divine guidance, and much more. Many of her clients have permanently reversed chronic illness and pain that was considered to be incurable. She's the founder of Cocoon Wellness Center, and Condi Bartlett specializes in helping women with particularly fibromyalgia. But again, I'd like to stress so much more. She's also the founder and moderator of Women with Fibromyalgia, which is a self-healing Facebook group with over 9,000 members from all over the world. Condi is compassionate, kind, non-judgmental, and makes healing, most importantly, simple and fun. You are going to witness this today. If you ever lose her in a crowd, just listen for, let's hear it, her recognize it.
My giggle.
There it is. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Condi.
Thank you, Josie. Thank you for making me feel so welcome and loved. So if you're looking on Facebook for my Facebook group, this is what you're going to look for: Women with Fibromyalgia Self-Healing Support Group. I do have a disclaimer, and I want to tell you I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose people, and I don't treat illness. I help people activate their own ability to self-heal, because the body just knows how to do that. So please use this information today to help you with your wellness. It's for educational purposes. I forgot to mention that on Monday. So what you're going to learn today and what I'm going to talk about are the top 3 things that may be keeping you from healing. Also, those same 3 things may be the same things that caused your current condition. I'm also going to be talking about how to unlock your body's natural ability to self-heal, and also how to restore your wellness and reclaim your life, and maybe even reimagine who you are for the better. And would that be okay? So first, we're going to talk about what fibromyalgia is. And it is a syndrome. And doctors really don't know what causes it. They do say that it's incurable. And the main kind of presenting symptom is like global widespread pain and fatigue. There are well over 60 different symptoms. And people who are experiencing fibromyalgia may have 5 symptoms or 3 symptoms. That's kind of one of the reasons why it's really hard to decide whether somebody has fibromyalgia, because there are so many different presenting symptoms. Like I said, the most common one is the global widespread pain, fatigue, waking up unrefreshed, just never feeling like you have enough energy. There's also cognitive problems, so like brain fog, muscle weakness, some digestive issues like gas and bloating and IBS symptoms, nausea, dizziness, numbness, and tingling, just to name a few. There are many more than this. So people ask me, what is the difference in fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue? And I'm going to say that there are varying differences. First, in the pain levels that people experience. People with chronic fatigue, their presenting problem or complaint would be the fatigue, not the pain. And then the pain is often different. It's mostly in the joints and not in the muscle and the tissue and the fascia, where that's where it is with fibromyalgia. And people with fibromyalgia will feel it all over their body. So it's a global perceived pain of just this achiness all over the body. Another difference is the digestive issues. Some people with chronic fatigue will have digestive issues, but not to the extent of people with fibromyalgia. So very few people with chronic fatigue have that digestive kind of IBS symptoms going on. Also, the presentation of chronic fatigue sometimes will come after like a viral infection, like you've had the flu and you never quite recover. That's pretty common. And with fibromyalgia, well, both of these actually seem to be more prevalent with women than with men. So those are just some of the differences. Fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue are not the same thing. They are 2 separate things. And both, unfortunately, there is a large stigma for people that have these 2 complaints, because even people in the medical field will say it's all in your head. And so I've seen and heard of women in my group who have gone to the ER for help with whatever was going on. Women with fibro, mostly it's pain, and they would get put at the end of the triage list because of that stigma, because it's like, oh, that's not a real complaint. So if you're here on the call and or this webinar and you have been diagnosed with fibromyalgia or you think you have it, I'm going to say this is a real thing. I acknowledge your pain and your suffering. And for anybody else who says that it's all in your head, that is not the case. Again, I'm going to say if you have those presenting problems of any kind of chronic situation, whether it's chronic pain or chronic illness, get professional help. But I'm going to say get the right kind of professional help. And this is from my own experience that I speak. You want to get help from a doctor who believes you can get better. And this is going to be kind of brash, but I'm just going to say it. If your doctor doesn't believe you can get better, get a different doctor. So I'm talking about finding a doctor who will look at you holistically, not just like you're a pile of symptoms and hand out a bunch of pills to work with the symptoms. That didn't personally work for me, and it doesn't work for a lot of people. So I would look for a doctor that's a naturopath. I would look for a doctor that may be a doctor of functional medicine, where they're going to look at you as a whole person. So they're going to look at my body, mind, and spirit, not just you as a machine, which nobody really is a machine. So get professional help. My type of help, my expertise is helping people see what's possible. And that may be in their healing. It also may be in other areas of their life where they've never really experienced true happiness. They don't really feel like they're worthy of a whole lot. And so it's helping them to see the life that they really deserve. But saying that I help people heal mind, body, and spirit, the best way I can explain it, because you're probably scratching your head saying, well, what does that mean, right? The best way that I can explain it is in a story. So I'd like to share a case study. And this is Jack's case study. He had something called trigeminal neuralgia. And before you slam the brakes on, I know I said trigeminal neuralgia, not fibromyalgia. And I'm using this case study because, to me, it doesn't make a difference what the fill in the blank thing is. To me, it's all energy that can get rearranged. So if everything is energy, anything is possible in my purview. So with Jack, he had been diagnosed with trigeminal neuralgia, which is a neurological disorder. There is no surgical procedure for it. There's only pharmaceuticals. And that's what he had used for well over 40 years, trying to manage the pain. And his life began to just shrink and get smaller and smaller and smaller. And all his life was about pretty much was managing pain. There was very little joy in his life at all. And so we started working together, and I have a protocol that I give people for whatever kind of things they're dealing with. I have an essential oil protocol that helps with every single step of that. So helping to release different kind of emotional, negative emotions or limiting beliefs, and helping to release other energetic things. So we started on that protocol. And one day he was in my office, and it was at the end, and I was giving him a mantra to say for the week. And I gave him a mantra that was, I'm healed. I know that was kind of brazen, right? But the next day he called me and he said, I can't use this mantra. I don't believe it. He's like, I'm in pain. Today I'm in really bad pain, and I can't say this mantra and believe it. And so I said, okay, so what would you believe? What could you believe? And he said, I could believe that I'm healing. And I said, okay, that's going to be your mantra for the next week. So throughout the week, sprinkled through the day, he would just say, I'm healing, I'm healing, I'm healing. And by the following week, the pain was completely gone. So 40 years of pain completely disappeared in a week. And he called me up and told me the pain was gone. And he's now, 3 years later, no pain, no medications. He's off all Western and Eastern medications that he was on. Excuse me. And still comes to see me like probably every month. And we're working on different things. So the thing that I've noticed working with people who have different kinds of chronic illness and things, the same things that block healing also block prosperity. So one of the things that happened for Jack was that his business opened up and that revenue started flowing in. And when I checked in with him recently, he said, my business is making like double the money and I'm actually doing less. So that's part of what happens when you let go of all the things that are kind of like a system that are working against you when you're trying to heal but can't quite do it. So letting go of limiting beliefs and blocks and all kinds of things. So that's my case study for Jack, and he's incredibly happy now. He's semi-retired and is traveling quite a bit. So my hope today is that you're going to turn this very useful information into lasting transformation in your life, whether or not you have a chronic situation happening in your life like fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue. You're going to learn things here that will help you move forward with ease. So the first thing that we're going to talk about on the top 3 things that stop healing is mindset. And mindset is just incredibly important in terms of really thinking about what you're capable of, what your potential is. So the first thing that we're going to talk about in mindset are belief systems. And belief systems are kind of a string of beliefs, or a string of thoughts actually, that you believe to be true. And then those thoughts or belief systems kind of structure how you look at the world and what's right or wrong, or what's true or false. And we get these belief systems from our family. We're not born with them. We don't come in with a belief system like I'm not enough, right? That gets kind of taught to us somehow. And it could be parents or grandparents or somebody else in the family. It could be people that you work with. It could be peers or friends. It could be from anywhere. But basically, it's a string of thoughts you believe to be true. But I'd like to take a deeper look at what those belief systems are. So how limiting beliefs stop us. If you think about a goal that you wanted to attain, like some goal that you set upon that you didn't achieve. For you, it may be healing. It may be a revenue goal. It may be whatever it is. It may be education. And the reason, if you think about it, the reason you didn't get there, the reason you didn't achieve that goal is because there's a limiting belief behind it. And that's how limiting beliefs stop us. But I'd like to take an even closer look. And I'd like you to ask yourself whether your beliefs support your healing or they block it. So if you look at this list, this is just kind of a short list. I know it's kind of funny, a short list of beliefs that I've heard from my clients who have been dealing with just a nightmare of a situation with chronic pain or chronic illness. And this is just some of the beliefs that they have. Beliefs like I'm empty, or I'm not enough, or I'm worthless, or I'm unlovable, or I'm being punished, I'm disabled, I'm crazy, I'm a burden, I'm a victim. The thing about those thoughts is that they change your emotions. See, emotions don't just happen on their own. You have a thought, and then you have an emotion as a result of that thought. So if you have these kinds of thoughts kind of rattling around in your head, and maybe even really deeply seated in your self-talk, then that's going to do one thing, and it's going to increase your stress level. In fact, it's going to keep you in a state of constant stress. And when you're in that state of constant stress, there's no way your body can ever slow down and relax, which is where healing happens. And we all know, we've all heard the stories about how stress affects your health. And we know that it affects our cardiovascular health. It can disturb our sleep patterns. It can change how we digest food and how we process nutrients from our food. It can increase pain levels. It can increase weight gain. It can affect our memory. And it can increase aging. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants any of that. And it also can greatly affect your libido, which really is awful, to say the very least about that. So this is what I found on the Center for Disease Control website. It says 85% of all disease has an emotional element. Now, if I were to write this quote, I would say it would be 99% of the people that I work with who have come in with chronic symptoms, whether they're pain or illness, there's an emotional element to it. And that's one of the things that I'm really good at, excavating those kinds of things. So you look at that quote and you say, well, why doesn't my doctor then, knowing that 85% of all disease has an emotional component, then why isn't that part of my prescription, right? To deal with those emotions, to lessen the severity, or to clear out repressed negative emotions. That ought to be part of the protocol, right? Well, it's not going to happen. And it's not your doctor's fault. Your doctor's doing the best that they can, and they're only doing what they've been taught. See, because in medical school, people learn how to use surgery and drugs as the main ways of, the main solutions for problems like chronic pain and all these other things that people come in with. Those are the tools that they have. So with their limited tools, it's not surprising that they label so many things incurable, because it's true. Those things are incurable when you only have two tools. I'm just saying. So I would like to share another case study with you. And this is Elizabeth's story. And Elizabeth came from Switzerland to work with me. And she had been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, had had it for years. She was an older woman. And actually, her daughter was a client of mine, and she had grandchildren that she wanted to play with. And she told me she had never felt safe. She had never really been able to sleep well. Even as a child, she never slept well. She felt depressed and unhappy. She didn't have a lot of hope that things were going to get better. In fact, she came to me because her daughter urged her to. And after the first day that we worked together, she began sleeping through the night. And she was able to nap through the day, or during the day, not through the day, but she was able to nap during the day, which she had never done before unless she was really, really sick. So we continued to work together. And I remember asking her when we first started working together whether she had experienced trauma. And she said, no, I've not had any kind of trauma in my life. It's been pretty normal. And then as we started to work together more, I found that she had felt unloved by her mother. She had never felt close to her mother. She always felt like her mother didn't love her, that there was this coldness that was always kind of there, like a resentment towards her from her mother. And in fact, she had been sent away to a boarding school at age 5. And pretty much all of her childhood was at the boarding school. She would come home on a vacation or something, and then only to receive this kind of coldness where all she really desired was to be nurtured and loved by her mother, which is what we all really deserve and need from our mother. But she wasn't able to get that. And so we worked on that trauma, and slowly the pain started to decrease and her energy levels started to increase. And after she went back to Switzerland, she would tell me, check in with me now and again, and tell me how wonderful her life is now, that she could play with her grandchildren, that she has plenty of energy to do the things that she really loves, like garden, and how happy she is. And I think the thing for her was that she never really was able to feel happy inside. She never could really feel like she loved herself. And so I love this story because I love helping people get to the place where they really can fully embrace who they are and be that and bring it to the world. So that's Elizabeth's story. So the top 3 things, we're moving on. The number 2 on the top 3 things that stop healing is emotional baggage. And I know this crowd is not surprised by that. Maybe a couple of people are, but emotional baggage is a powerful thing, and it can stop a lot of things. Mainly, it just stops our happiness. It slams the brakes on happiness. Until you get rid of your emotional baggage, you're not going to be able to really fully meet your potential and be happy in your life. I was going to say, emotional baggage, if people are cringing right now about emotional baggage, I want to put your mind at ease, because it's just a sign that you're human. And that's a good thing. You're not an alien, right? So you are human. And it's just part of the human state. And it's not like we've been taught a healthy way to deal with negative emotions. We've not been taught how to deal with shame, or how to forgive ourselves, or even how to deal with anger in a healthy way. So we, as a majority, our culture has kind of said, like, put that away. We don't want to see it. So we push it down. We repress it. And then it just goes away, right? Or we deny that it's there, or that bad experiences ever happened. And neither one of those ways of dealing with negative emotions are healthy for us, because all that emotion just gets stored in our energy field. It doesn't go anywhere. So you could have thousands of different things just chock full in your energy field, just stored there for us. And that's when they turn into physical symptoms. So the types of emotional baggage that I'm talking about is emotional pain, things like shame and guilt, the places that we won't forgive ourselves for mistakes that we made in the past, even as a kid. When we talk about being perfect, having to do things perfect, being a perfectionist, those are all kinds of emotional pain. And it's just high time that we learn a new way of dealing with emotional pain, a healthy way to feel it and then release it and let it go, so you can move on, so you really can meet your full potential. So this is number 3 on the top 3 things that stop healing, and it's not understanding the root cause of the problem. And so I want to tell you about a study, and some of you here may have heard of it before. It's called the Adverse Childhood Experience Study, and it was a study done by Kaiser Permanente, I can't talk today, Permanente, and the CDC. And it was done over a series of years. It's one of the longest running studies in history. And it covered a group of children through adulthood. And it particularly looked at the impact of their childhood. Most of them had really hard experiences during the childhood, abuse and neglect. And the more instances you had of the abuse and neglect, the higher your score was. And that was called an ACE score. So the higher your ACE score, then the higher your chance was of having a sundry list of really serious health problems, like cardiovascular problems and diabetes. And there was a higher instance of obesity and of suicide in these children as adults. So as you can see here, these are just some of the things that were on that ACE study. You can actually take the test yourself online if you're interested. I can send you the link. So they looked at things like verbal abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, physical neglect, emotional neglect, whether your mother had been beaten or abused in front of you, whether you had 1 or 2 parents, whether a family member had been incarcerated, or whether a family member was a drug abuser or an alcohol abuse in the household, whether there was a loss of a parent, those kinds of things. So the harder your childhood, the higher your ACE score. And before I move on, I want to mention another study that was done online, and it was 1,000 women with fibromyalgia who were asked whether they had experienced a trauma. And 70% of those women had said yes, that they had. And the thing that I want to mention is that didn't include the trauma of their diagnosis, which if you've ever gotten a diagnosis of a serious life-changing, life-altering disease or illness, that's a trauma. So this is one of my favorite quotes from Beth Darnell. And it says, whether you acknowledge it or not, childhood trauma will be impacting your health, your emotional well-being, and your pain. It does. It just does. And that's just a fact. So another reason why you may not know the root cause of your illness is because the unconscious mind is very helpful. You see, 5% of what you do is conscious. You're thinking about it, you're doing it, but 95% of what you do is unconscious. And that's how you get in your car and you drive to the grocery to get groceries and you don't remember driving there. It's because the unconscious mind got you there. And it's kind of the things that we do just out of habit, that we just do on autopilot. That's the unconscious mind. But the unconscious mind is tricky. It will just store things for us. And it can be a problem, right? Especially when we're talking about repressed emotions, because it can just like say, oh, that thing, that's like too bad for you to think about. We're just going to store that away for you and you won't have to think about it and it'll keep you safe. Because that's the unconscious mind's job, is to keep you safe. So an example would be, say you went through a divorce several years ago. And right now, you know that it was better that you ended it, that it's all over. You feel like it's all tied up in a bow and it's done. But the thing is, while you were going through that divorce, you experienced a lot of really bad feelings, maybe anger or rage or shame or guilt or heaven knows what. And your unconscious mind just stored those away. But the thing is, your unconscious mind has been doing this for a while, probably decades. And so there are probably thousands of these different things that are just chalked away in your unconscious mind. And the problem with that is that those things that are stored, those repressed emotions, end up showing up as a physical symptom, because those emotions, that energy, creates tension in the body. The good news is that your body naturally knows how to heal. It's wired to do just that. And it can, if you take care of the things that we just talked about, changing the mindset, getting rid of the baggage and the trauma, kind of flipping off the switch for that stress response, and providing your body with what it needs to properly heal. And that may mean eating well, eating nutritious food, eating whole foods, eating organic foods, and supplementing your diet with minerals and vitamins that help your body heal. So this is doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality Pack. And this is like magic to me. If I miss a day of taking my vitamins, I notice a difference. And I've heard the same from my clients. When they miss a day of their vitamins, they have less energy, they have less cognitive function. They notice a vast difference in their vitality when they don't take their vitamins. So there's no way you're going to get everything that you need from your food, even if you're eating 100% organic. you have to supplement it some way. And so I suggest this Lifelong Vitality Pack. This actually happens to be the #1 bestseller for doTERRA, not essential oils. I think it's because they're actually solid gold, but there is actually 100% money back guarantee on these vitamins. And there's a good reason, because they are just incredible. So this is my list of supplements and oils for discomfort. And I'm not going to go through in depth how to use these. I will, I don't know if they can provide that in the group or on the website. I can give them a PDF for that, or possibly just put it in the group. So here's the list: frankincense, lemongrass, aroma touch blend, marjoram, copaiba, deep blue blend, deep blue polyphenols, which I could not have made it through frozen shoulder last winter without these polyphenols. Actually, without the frankincense, the copaiba, the deep blue blend lotion, and the deep blue polyphenols. I was able to heal my frozen shoulder within 2 weeks. And my chiropractor was like, his wife was like, how did you do that? I had a frozen shoulder for a whole year. I said, this is how I did it. I also did the copaiba soft gels. And the last on my list, but not least, is Digest Zen. And I think Digest Zen is just pure magic in a bottle. And my family swears by it. I can't not keep it in my cabinet because my family's always asking for it. One of the things about Digest Zen is it's great for any kind of stomach upset or digestive upset. And when I've used it when I've traveled before, and you know how your digestion can just do weird things when you travel. So it doesn't matter whether you're dealing with constipation or diarrhea. It's like intuitive, and it just knows and it fixes it. I don't know how it works. I guess it's chemicals, I guess some people would say. Here are 7 signs. This may be another idea or approach for you to consider, is to do a detox for your body at least once a year. This is 7 signs that your body may need a detox. And it's interesting that the signs of the detox are actually a lot of the symptoms that people with fibro have. So #1 is constant fatigue, 2, autoimmune problems, 3, skin issues, 4, difficulty concentrating, 5, frequent headaches, 6, trouble losing weight, and 7, sleep problems. So it may be worth it to get a good protocol for a detox. And I'm not talking about like a 5-day juice diet. That could just be really horrible. Believe me, I've tried that. I would suggest, and this is doTERRA's answer to doing a detox the right way, is the Cleanse and Restore Kit. It's 8 products that are done over 30 days in conjunction with a healthy diet, with eating whole foods. And that's as simple as it gets. And it just naturally helps your body detox. It helps all the organs that do the detox work even more efficiently. So I would suggest that. I would also suggest, and this is a protocol that I actually require my clients to do daily without any exception. If my clients won't do this daily, they're not my clients. And I'm a stickler for that because I know the power of these 3 things are what make healing happen faster. So #1 is essential oils, and my protocol is usually aromatic. And I have my clients do that while they're doing diaphragmatic breathing, which is a type of belly breathing that you do in yoga. So when you breathe in, your stomach expands. It's the opposite of what your mother ever told you to do. So you let your stomach hang out when you breathe in. And when you exhale, you contract your stomach. So you breathe in, you let your stomach go big. And when you breathe out, you let it go small. You contract it. It's going to feel weird. I'm just going to say that. You have to get used to it. I have my clients do that 5 minutes, 3 times a day. And like I said, it takes some practice to get used to it, but you're going to start to feel calmer as a result of at least those 2 things. Then we add in EFT tapping. And EFT tapping is the bomb. It's also known as the emotional freedom technique for a really good reason. And that is because it can help you take a negative experience. You can still have the memory of it, but you can lose the punch in the gut from it. Emotional freedom technique is a combination of talk therapy while you're tapping on the endpoints of meridians. And actually, if you were an acupuncturist, that's where you would put a needle in. So that combination is incredibly powerful. People use EFT tapping for weight release. They use it for anxiety. They use it for releasing negative emotions. They use it for releasing limiting beliefs. They use it for implementing or installing new beliefs that are the opposite of the negative belief, which affirms a new state of being. So this happens to be my letting go blend. And this isn't the same graphic, I notice, that you guys have in the group, but it's the same formula. And I passed this around on Monday. It's the bomb. And I have it here, but that doesn't really help you. Sorry. So this is a blend that I use to help people release negative emotions faster. And click the next one. There we have all the tapping points. And right now I've asked Tracy to be my volunteer for today. And on Monday night, I had 3 other volunteers. So Tracy, if you want to unmute yourself, I thought we'd do a demonstration and teach you guys how to do tapping, if that's okay.
Can you see my video too?
I can see your video. Yeah.
Okay, and hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I can't see myself, so that's probably a good thing.
Oh, no. You can't see yourself.
Well, I'm on my phone, so I'm really sure. So.
Okay.
Anyway, doesn't matter.
Beautiful. To me. So did you think of something, like one single thing that's stressing you out?
My personal relationship currently.
Okay.
Parts of it are really great. Other parts are stressful.
Well, you can share as much information as you like with the group, or you can keep it private. That's what happened on Monday when Kim was working with shame. She didn't share the whole story. She just kind of told us the outlying kind of emotion that was predominant. And the most important thing about tapping is really getting into the feeling that you're trying to release. It's not so much where you're tapping or what you're saying, but engaging in the feeling that you would like to release. So the first thing you do is identify what the topic is that you're going to be working on, which is why I asked Tracy if she could think of one thing that was causing her to feel discomfort or stress or something that she's ready to release that we could work on for this demonstration. So then we rate it on a scale of 0 to 10. So 0 is neutral and 10 is really intense. It's probably the worst feeling you've ever had. So that being said, I would also say the next step you're going to do is use your essential oil.
I don't have your blend, but I've got a blend that's nice.
Well, I know most people don't have this blend.
I'll make it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead and use your oil if you haven't already.
I did. Yeah. I put some on my.
Okay. Great. And if you're in the crowd, in the audience, go ahead and use your oil, because what we're going to do, as I'm tapping with Tracy, you're going to follow along and do what I do and say what I say. You may be working on your own thing. You may have identified what's stressing you out and rated it already. But as we're tapping along, you're going to hold that space and that feeling for whatever you're releasing. Okay? So, all right, Tracy.
Yes.
All right. So the next thing that you're going to do, and I just remembered these people don't have a copy of my pocket guide. So I'm going to have to put all this stuff in the group, I guess. Because all the instructions for tapping, in case people are freaking out right now, like, I can't remember all this. All the instructions are on a pocket guide that I made, and I have a PDF version of that I can put in the group. Okay.
Hey, Condi, some
Yeah.
people are asking to
Yeah.
stop the screen share so they can see you more
Okay.
largely, just for
Okay.
now.
All right. Well, hang on.
You want to do
Take my
that?
glasses off. I will. There.
Oh,
Better?
no, I can see myself. Yeah.
I couldn't
can see
really see
you.
I couldn't see the chat with the with the screen share. So better?
Awesome. Yes,
Okay.
I think so.
All right. You're welcome.
Mhm.
All right. So the next thing that we're going to do in tapping is called the setup phrase. And the setup phrase is a template that has kind of a fill in the blank. So it goes like this. Even though I have this fill in the blank problem, I love and accept myself. Or if you have trouble saying I love myself, you could say I like myself, or I respect myself instead. So we do the setup phrase while we're just lightly tapping here on kind of the underneath the pinky finger. This is called the karate chop point. And we're lightly tapping here while we do the setup phrase. And so I'm coming back to Tracy right now because I need more information. So Tracy, what are we working on? What, if you were to give it a short title, what you'd call it?
Unhealthy attachment or over attachment.
Okay. And 0 to 10, it lands where?
It's like a 7.
Okay. Now I'm asking her what the rating is because we're going to check back in when we're done with tapping. My goal is always to get this thing to a 0, no matter what it is. So I've worked with veterans who have PTSD. We always get it to a 0. It doesn't matter to me what the thing is, but it doesn't serve you to lug this around anymore. No?
No.
So 7. So the setup phrase, we're going to do this. You don't have to raise your hand up like I am. I'm just,
okay,
because I'm doing the demonstration, I have to do a lot of
sure.
things. So even though I have this over attachment,
I have this over attachment,
I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Even though I have this unhealthy attachment,
I have this unhealthy attachment,
and I'm ready to let it go,
and I'm ready to let it go.
I love and accept myself a bunch.
I love and accept myself a bunch.
Even though
I
have this unhealthy attachment.
I have this unhealthy attachment.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I'm getting rid of it.
I'm getting rid of it.
I love myself so much.
I love myself so much.
That's the setup phrase. And then from there, we're going to go on to the tapping points. So still keep engaged with the feeling you're trying to get rid of while we go through. So this doesn't feel good.
This doesn't feel good.
I don't like how this feels.
I don't like how this feels.
I can't stand in my power
I can't stand in my power
with this feeling.
with this feeling.
I just feel unbalanced.
Unbalanced.
I don't feel, I'm doing under my arm here.
I know. I don't feel
balanced.
I don't feel balanced.
I don't feel happy.
I don't feel happy.
This doesn't make me happy.
This doesn't make me happy.
I don't have to feel this way.
I don't have to feel this way.
I'm choosing
not
to feel this way.
Not to feel this way.
Nope.
Nope.
Not doing it.
Not doing it.
In fact, I hate this feeling.
I hate this feeling.
It makes me feel powerless.
It makes me feel powerless.
And I'm not.
And I'm not
powerless.
Powerless.
In fact,
under
the arm again, I'm fierce.
I'm fierce.
And it keeps me
from
shining brightly.
In
fact, this keeps me small.
I
can't have that.
You can't have that.
I've got important work to do.
I
can't be small.
Can't be small.
I have to be large.
Have to be large.
I'm living large.
I'm living large.
In fact, this makes me feel unhappy. I can't afford that.
I can't afford that.
I'm choosing to be happy.
I'm choosing to be happy.
I'm choosing to feel
Choosing to feel
empowered.
Powered.
I'm taking my power back.
I'm taking my power back.
Yeah, I'm taking my power back.
Yeah, I'm taking my power back.
That feels so much better.
It feels so much better.
Deep breath in and out. And I want you to check in with that feeling of the over-attachment, of the unhealthy attachment at a 7, and tell me where it is now.
It's like a 3.
3. And at a 3, does it feel like the same thing? Is it the same vibe as the over-attachment? Has it changed to something else?
Less of a vibe for sure.
Okay, good.
Feeling coming closer back to myself.
Okay. Where do you feel in your body? Okay. Do I have a color?
Orange.
Okay. All right. So I still have this attachment.
I still have this attachment.
I can feel it in my chest.
Can feel it in my chest.
I don't really like this.
I don't really like this.
It's kind of stealing my energy.
It's kind of stealing my energy.
I can't do this anymore.
I can't do this anymore.
I won't do it anymore.
I won't do it anymore.
Doesn't serve me.
Doesn't serve me.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I think at one point it might have.
I think at one point it might have.
Yeah, but it doesn't anymore.
But it doesn't anymore.
I've grown so much.
I've grown so much.
Since then.
Since then.
I'm a different person.
I'm a different person.
And so I make different choices.
So I make different choices.
Like letting this go.
Like letting this go.
I just don't like this anymore.
I just don't like this anymore.
It's like trying to wear a pair of shoes.
It's like trying to wear a pair of shoes
that I had when I was 3.
That I had when I was 3.
They're just way too small for me.
They're way too small for me.
I'm just much bigger than I was then.
And I'm just much bigger than I was then.
So I'm choosing
to
let all this energy go.
To let all this energy go.
It's safe for me right now.
It's safe for me right now.
To let all this energy go.
To let all this energy go.
I feel pretty good about that.
I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah. I'm claiming my power.
I'm claiming my power.
I'm taking it back.
I'm taking it back.
And that feels perfect.
And that feels perfect.
So it is.
And so it is.
So your 3 is where?
It's dissipated.
Still dissipating. Can you take a deep breath? Just move it out. Okay. Tell me where it is.
Feels like it's out of my chest.
Good.
Moving out.
Do you have a number for it at this point?
1.
1. And at a 1, what does it feel like?
Tired.
Tired of that.
Tired of that.
We got time for that.
Yeah. Tired of that.
Yeah. So, okay, we're going to do something different. That's going to look really weird, as if that other stuff didn't. But we're going to do this, and then we're going to switch. Yeah. So tired is what you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the opposite of tired?
Energized.
And?
Vibrant.
And?
Excited.
And?
Motivated.
And?
Happy.
And?
Joyful.
And?
Healed.
Yes. So it is.
So it is.
Yeah. So your 1 is where?
It's gone.
Yes.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah.
I like that.
We needed the big guns.
We went through the whole, all the different kinds of tapping. So you can just tap, if you're in a public place, you can just tap here to kind of reset. If you're really stressed out, you can just do this. You can do your whole tapping sequence this way. And people often ask me, Condi, I don't know what to say. I don't have a script. The thing is, you know the story. Just like you knew the story of what was happening for you. You could say it out loud or you could say it to yourself, just as you know the feeling that that whole story brings that makes you feel so bad. So you could just tell the story, do the tapping. You could do the tapping on the whole sequence. You could do the tapping here. There's no wrong way to do tapping. The most important thing is to feel the thing that you're trying to get rid of to help it release faster. And also using essential oils first before you do tapping makes it like weeding after the rain. It's just like easy peasy, like just boom, boom. Yeah. So
I love that metaphor. That's
yeah.
good.
Well, I shared a story on Monday, and I've got just a couple minutes, if that's okay. I shared a story on Monday about this lady that came in to see me, and she was going through a bankruptcy, and she was at her wit's end. She hadn't slept for like 3 days, and this was like early days for me in doTERRA. I didn't really understand this piece that I just showed you about using the essential oils first, and I got a nudge from my intuition that said wild orange. And so I grabbed the wild orange, and we had already like decided what we were going to be tapping on. And she said, I had her rate it, and she's like, oh, this is, here, I explained it 0 to 10, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, this is like a 10,000. I'm like, okay, my scale goes to 10, but I'm honoring your 10,000. And I gave her the wild orange, and I said, rub your hands together, breathe this in, give me 5 belly breaths. And then I got another nudge when she was done breathing. And I'm like, okay, where's your 10,000? And she said, it's a 4. So from 10,000 to 4, then we just did tapping, and it just was gone. She was like super calm. She was still going through bankruptcy. Her experience, her place in life hadn't changed, but her physical and mental state had. And so she, I think, was able to make probably better decisions for herself in that calm place than the place where she just is like overwhelmed and like, I don't know what to do, and a frenzy. So
lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. So
yeah.
I think we're complete. I don't know how to get back to the
Do you want to share your screen again?
I will. I can.
Yeah, and then Josie will pop on and
okay. Da-da-da.
I'm gonna
I think that's where we left off. And clickety clack. Oh, I didn't do the boy, I just really I'll share this with the group too. This is like my essential oil list for specific emotions. I don't know that I should do the
Condi, yeah, let's go through those a little.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So resentment. I love the blend called Forgive. Geranium. I'm going to say, if you're just starting out with oils, you probably don't have the budget to buy all of these. So if you're just starting out, get wild orange, because wild orange, both wild orange and geranium are kind of the go-tos that cover almost the gamut of any emotional upset that you're trying to release. So I'll just put that out there. But these, so resentment, forgive, geranium, neroli, anxiety, copaiba, basil, breathe, self-loathing, bergamot, copaiba, slim and sassy, fear, cypress, yarrow palm, and turmeric, shame, bergamot and frankincense, guilt, bergamot is just a heavy hitter, and copaiba, anger, thyme, cardamom, geranium, sadness, peppermint, wild orange, and serenity.
So these are all, they're not that people should necessarily have all, like each of them for if they're working with one. It's kind of one at a time.
I actually have my clients use their intuition.
Yes.
To pick what they're drawn to. Which one calls to you, then use that. It's not like you have to buy all 3, for instance. So pick one, for instance, like resentment, forgive, geranium, neroli. Which one speaks to you? Grab it, buy it, whatever.
Dan is asking, is there a specific location that's best to apply the oils?
I just have people, like I said, use them aromatically before they do tapping.
Okay.
The cypress, usually when I'm dealing with people with chronic issues, I'll have them use both cypress and geranium at night. That's another thing I should mention, is that cypress has a way to create this catharsis. So I have people use it at night, so they're not going to be like going out to, get groceries and all of a sudden they're bursting into tears because the butter was the wrong price or something. It's like some ugly cry over nothing.
Yeah.
Because cypress is just, it's wonderful at causing this catharsis that's really good release, but you don't want to be doing it at Fred Meyer. So
That's the oil of flow, right?
but it is, and it's, it just makes the energy flow. It's receiving and giving.
Okay, well, people, if watching the webinar, can take a screen capture of this.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
and use it
yeah.
guide. Okay, let's.
Good idea. Okay, clicking along. Should I do the recap? Should we just keep going? We're at time, aren't we?
We are at time. We'll go quickly.
Okay, so the top 3 things we talked about, I'm talking fast, are the things that may be keeping you from healing and are a system that's kind of working underneath all the scenes are your mindset, that emotional baggage and trauma, and you have the power to kind of start working on that stuff. How to activate your body's natural ability to self-heal by giving it what it needs nutritionally through supplements, detoxifying, starting a daily protocol that includes tapping essential oils and belly breathing to help reset the stress response, and how to restore your wellness and reclaim your life, pretty much using all of those same things and changing your mindset and realizing that you're worthy of having perfect health and of loving yourself and having the vitality to live the life of your dreams. So thank you. Here is the ways that you can contact me. Again, a screenshot, you could do that. That's a great idea, Josie. Yeah.
So there you go. She's at cocoonrhc.com is your website.
It is.
All right.
On Instagram at Condi Bartlett, and Condi at cocoonrhc is my email address.
Okay. Well, Condi, thank you so much. And everyone, for those of you who are new and would like to know how to get essential oils for yourself and in your life, probably someone has invited you to this webinar. So please refer back to them and they can help you. It's super simple. The beginning way is to get a membership with doTERRA. And when you do that, you can start with a kit, or you can pay $35. The kits are bundled savings. They're a much better way to start. And then you can look into our loyalty program, where from there on out, everything is 25% off, and you get much more than that below wholesale. So please check into our loyalty programs with our membership. I know everyone in these days, money is tight, and to be able to receive things at below wholesale is an incredible gift from this company. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And
Sorry.
How to get started slide.
I should be fired. Okay. Oh, this is from Monday, so the raffle.
Yeah, there's no raffle. We had a raffle at the end. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.